right. One of the questions I'm getting asked a whole lot is, if the market is potentially going down, should you be making the move to buy a home? First and foremost, you got to understand, why do you want to buy a home to begin with? Remember that. First, figure that out, whether it's tired of paying rent, whether it's you need more space, whether you want to upside, downsize, potentially you may want to be moving to another area altogether. Right? These are all very important aspects of what was the reason of you even considering to make a move. Because once you understand that, you always want to remember that is your whole goal to begin with, right? So after you determine that, the next thing I'm telling my clients is, look, how accurate were you in predicting the market? Let's have an honest conversation. Did you sell all of your stock before the market dropped 15-20% of the S&P, or the NASDAQ dropped even more? If you were that sure of yourself, of the ability at the time, did you already cash out of all of that to be ready to go to either buy more stocks or buy something else? How accurate were you in that? And let me ask you this, from a real estate perspective, how likely is it for people to want to live in a home in the future? And tell me this, what is the likelihood of somebody being able to time things where you can buy at the lowest interest rates and sell at the highest price? How likely are you to be able to do that? Right? So the notion is not so much about trying to time a market. At the end of the day, over a long period, the market does very well. And the key is being in the market, and really depend on your individual situation. So I'm not saying everybody should be buying a house or making a move, but I'm also saying a lot of people shouldn't be in the situation that they're at, especially those that might be renting and paying exorbitant amount. Because just do some basic math. Let's say your rent was $3,000, $4,000, $5,000, $6,000 a month here in the Bay Area. Just do some quick math. In 12 months, how much is that? 36,000, 50 grand. It would have been way better, not even talking about all the other benefits, to just use that money and put it into your home. So you don't have to do the math of being, oh, is it the same price as rent? No, the fact is 100% of your money is then going to the landlord, versus at least a good chunk of it could be paying yourself off or paying the value of the home down. So as you can see, there's so many different things that people need to be cognizant of the macro aspect. Now, what are strategies that I'm telling clients to do? If you're conservative and you think there is a recession in place, don't try to time a market, but be more conservative. If you're thinking of, hey, look, I wanted to initially buy a $2 million home, maybe you should be changing it, see what you can get for 1.6, 1.7. Maybe you don't look for that very big home in the beginning. Maybe you start off with something more reasonable, like a condo, right? Get out of the rent situation, live in a condo for several years, and then down the road, work with myself to go figure out, do you want to trade up for a bigger home? Or do you want to keep it as a rental? Like, you have so many other options, but the key is getting out of that rental space. And I think that's the biggest thing that a lot of people forget is, what was the reason why people even looked at to begin with? Do you really think you can time a market? If you can, there's lots of stock investors and wealth management firms that would love to hire you, because you know something that even Warren Buffett doesn't know. Right? That's the matter of the fact is, look, at the end of the day, nobody can predict where the market will go up or down. At the same time, you have to just look at your overall portfolio and understand, where are you bleeding money? And renting is bleeding money. Hopefully this helps. This is a very frequent question, like, hey, look, if the market is going down, when is the right time? The right time is when you find the right property, because it's not like a stock market where you can just buy a share of Tesla or a share of the S&P market. Just because the market in general may go down, you are looking at a specific home in that market. And if you're very picky, or it's just not that liquid to begin with, it's not like you can always enter in at any time. You still have to be very fortunate to find the home that you end up liking, and also fortunate to get your offer accepted. So there's so many different variables that are out of your control either way. So as long as you have the ability that you plan to stay here in the Bay Area for at least a couple of years, if you hopefully your finances and your job situation is going well, which a majority of us are doing just fine, you're going to be successful. I hope you found this video helpful because I'm going to be doing a few of these that are commonly asked questions, a lot more candid and just sharing my general thoughts. If you have any questions about buying, selling, or investing in the Bay Area real estate market, my team would love to help. You can reach us at 408-547-4590. Simply give us a call or text and we'll go over a game plan that's going to be the best suited for you. I look forward to help. See you at the next one. Bye now.